Okay, so since we don't know the formula, sorry, we don't know v1 value, so that we are going to use mr t2 minus t1. Okay, so from that by 1 by mechanical efficiency will give us work required here. So 2 into n by n minus 1 into mr of t2 minus t1 into 1 by mechanical efficiency will give us work required here. Okay, here we are going to take only the work required. Since we have a mechanical efficiency, by using this itself we can know, or else we can use the previous method also. Okay, whatever the problem we formula we have derived, we can also use that. Okay, so we can also use that. Okay, we can also use this formula, as we already know. This p1 v1 we can take this as mrt1, right? We can take this as mrt1. So 2n by n minus 1 mrt1, p3 already given within the problem, and p1 also given in the problem, and n value also given in the problem. So simply substituting every value here also will give you the same um, thing here. And whatever the power you got from that, you need to divide that with mechanical efficiency. Okay, you will get some value here. After getting this value, you need to divide that with mechanical efficiency to find out work required here. Okay, you can use the previous formula also, but before that, uh, after doing that, you need to divide with the mechanical efficiency, since he has given some mechanical efficiency within, he has mentioned some mechanical efficiency within the problem. Okay, or else you can directly take this formula. Okay, so 2 into n by n minus 1 mr of t2 by n s t1 into 1 by mechanical efficiency. So 2 into 1.25 by 1.25 minus 1, and m value we already found out here 0.019 kg per second. See, it was kilowatts, so that's why we need to keep that in kg per second, into 287 we already know, and t2 just now we have found out 444.9, and t1 which is already given in the problem, that is 288 into mechanical efficiency. How much is mechanical efficiency? 1 by 0.75, and whatever the value we get now, that is going to be in watts here, but we need the value in kilowatts, right? So we should divide the value whatever we got with 1000, which give us the value in kilowatt. So finally the work required is going to be 49.17 kilowatts here. Okay, you can use this formula, or whatever the formula we have derived during the derivation of work required in two stage compressor. You can also use that formula, no problem, but you need to divide with mechanical efficiency, since he has mentioned such mechanical efficiency is going to be there. Okay, so this is one type of model which we have solved now. So next, coming to the last problem, last model, just go through different models here. Not only this one, just go through different models. Okay, which are there in the textbook. But these for an average student, these are enough. I hope these methods are enough for the exam. And if anyone who can feel that means I need some other problems to be prepared, then you can go, no problem. There are a lot of models available in the textbook, so you can go through them. And if you have any doubts while solving those problems, you can approach me. Okay, I can solve them, right? I can clear your doubts. Okay, I am free to clear your doubts. So some of the problems which are very very important, those only I'm going to explain. Okay, so this is the last problem. Uh, just coming through this, a single acting two stage compressor with complete intercooling delivers 10.5 kg per minute of air at 16 bar. See here, here m value is given 10.5 kg per minute of air at 16 bar. What is this? Single acting two stage compressor with intercooling. Okay, delivers delivery pressure here. Okay, he has given delivery pressure which is 16 bar, and the suction occurs at 1 bar and 27 degrees centigrade. That means these are the initial conditions. Okay, at the initial conditions as given. Okay, those are 1 bar and 27 degrees centigrade. The compression and expansion process are reversible. Okay, polytropic index, that means these are going to follow the same polytropic index. So that means the compression index is going to be, or expansion index is going to be 1.3 here. That means n value 1.3, and he asked to find out the power required to drive the compressor, isothermal efficiency, free air delivered, heat transferred in intercooler, uh, and he gave us speed in RPM, which is 440. And if the clearance ratio for low pressure and high pressure cylinders are 0.04, okay, he has given a clearance ratio for different cylinders. Okay, so the clearance ratio here is for low pressure cylinder, the clearance ratio, that means what is clearance ratio? Nothing but clearance volume by swept volume. That ratio is 0.04. And for high pressure cylinder, for this cylinder, that is 0.06. So just keep in mind this, for this high pressure, low pressure cylinder is 0.04, and high pressure cylinder it is 0.06. Okay, calculate the swept and clearance volumes for each cylinder. So he asked to find out the clearance volume and swept volume for this cylinder, also for the high pressure cylinder. Okay, first what he has asked, so first of all, write whatever the data he has given. First of all, write given a single acting two-stage compressor. Write that also. Okay, it will makes lot of impact if you practice writing this. Whatever the given, whatever the type of compressor he has given, it will help you in solving the problems. It will help you in understanding the problem very easily. Okay, so sometimes you may mistakenly, even if it has given two-stage double acting compressor also, sometimes you may not take that as two stage. Instead of taking 2n, you will take only the n. So the whole thing is going to be get wrong. So better write that whatever the data he has given, whatever the type of compressor he has given also, right? So single acting two stage compressor, given a single acting two stage compressor, write that also, right? And M value he has given, which is 10.5 kg per minute, and delivery pressure, which is delivery pressure means this one. Okay, P3 he has given, which is 16 bar, and the suction occurs at 1 bar. That means suction means here. This value he has given. Okay, intermediate pressure we need to find out. We already know the formula how to find out intermediate pressure. So he has given this one as well as this one. Okay, of course, even if he not given the intermediate pressure here also, the delivery pressure, and if he has given intermediate pressure also, we can find out from this relation, we can find out delivery pressure also. Okay, so if any of the two has given, other one we can find out. Okay, so 1 bar and a T1 27 plus 273, mostly 300 Kelvin. The compression n value given, n value as 1.3, and n speed is given for 40 rpm, and K for low pressure cylinder. K value for low pressure cylinder is 0.04, and K value for high pressure cylinder is 0.06. Okay, better note them also. Okay, so this is the given clearance ratio. Okay, everything was written here also. So next we need to find out intermediate pressure. Why we need to find out intermediate pressure? It may help us to find out some of the formulas. So better go with that finding pressure ratio per stage. Okay, that is P2 is equal to root of P1 P3. Okay, so P2 square is equal to P1 P3, and P2 is equal to root of P1 P3, and we already know P1 as well as P3. What is P1? 1 bar, right? And what is P3? 16 bar. So this is 16. So root of 1 into 16, which is nothing but 4 here. So what is intermediate pressure? P2 now. P2 is 4 bar. Okay. He has not mentioned bar here, since he has mentioned here as ratio. Okay, so P2 by P1, or this P2 by P1, or this P3 by P2 is going to be 4 bar here. Okay, so power required, what is power required here? Work done in two stages with perfect intercooling. So this is the formula for work done for two stage compressor with perfect intercooling. So we already know this formula, which we have already derived this 2n by n minus 1 MRT1 into P3 by P1 whole power n minus 1 by 2n minus 1. Okay, see here the exactly what are the formula we have used here was which we have derived already, right? So instead of taking P1 V1, we have MRT1. Since we don't know the value of V1, so we know the value of M. We have we this is a universal gas constant, and a T1 already given. So it is easy for us to convert that P1 V1 to MRT1 to find out the value. Okay, so 2 given, so n value given 2 into 1.3 by 1.3 minus 1, and m value, what is m value? he has given the value m of m in kg per minute. So you definitely need to convert that into kg per second, since power required should be in kilowatts, that means joule per second. Per second we need to calculate. So 10.5 by 60 into r value 0.287, and a T1 value 27 degrees, 27 plus 273, 300. Okay, and a P3, what is P3? Is given P3, yeah, P3 is 16. Okay, P3 is 16 bar, and n value P1 is 1 bar, so 16 by 1 nothing but 16, and n value 1.3 minus 1 by 2 into 1.3, so nothing but 0.3 by 2.6, 1.3, yes, 2.6 minus 1 here. Okay, if you, by using calc, if you calculate all these things, you will get the power required as 49.21 kilowatts. See here, if he has mentioned any mechanical efficiency or that type of things, then you need to divide that this value with that mechanical efficiency. But he has not mentioned any of mechanical efficiency or volumetric efficiency in the problem, so you need not to take by mechanical efficiency in this power required. Okay, so you will get 49.21 kilowatts. That is the final answer. But if he has given like this problem, if he has given there will be some mechanical efficiency, then definitely you need to divide that with the answer with mechanical efficiencies. But he has not mentioned any mechanical efficiency here, so you need not to take that. Okay, you better consider that as one only. Okay, next what he has asked you to find out isothermal efficiency. So what is the isothermal efficiency? We already know isothermal efficiency. This was taken from thermodynamics itself. Okay, for isothermal work we need to find out isothermal efficiency, we need to find out isothermal work and actual work. Actual work done we have already found out, but isothermal work we don't know, but we need to find out from thermodynamics. The isothermal work is given by this formula P1 V1 log. That means it depends upon delivery pressure and internal pressure. Okay, so since it is internal pressure only, so we have to take a P1 V1 log of log E base of log base E of P3 by P1. That means the delivery pressure by initial pressure. Okay, so this P1 V1 is going to be MRT1. Okay, since we don't know the value of V1, we better to convert that into MRT1, since we know the value of M as well as T1. Okay, so M value has given 10.5 kg per minute, so per second we need to take, and R value we already know, and the T1 value we already know, and the log E to the P3 by P1. Okay, so what is P3? 16 bar, which we already know, delivery pressure, and initial pressure is 1. Okay, so log E, how to calculate the value of log E? In cal C you will have ln. Okay, ln of 16 by 1. Okay, sometime by mistake you can take in cal C you may take log to the base 10. Okay, but be particular with taking by while calculating in cal C it should be ln. Okay, log means here in cal C it is going to be the log to the base 10 there. Okay, log means there log to the base 10. Log E means ln here. Okay, you while in cal C you may go for log to the base 10, but you need to go for ln value. Ln of 16 by 1 value you need to take. Okay, so please keep that in mind while calculating this value with cal C. Please take ln here, not log to the base 10, log to the base C. That means log ln. Okay, ln to the base C. Okay, so please keep in mind that, and go while calculating, better use that ln. Okay, so this ln of 16 by 1 will give us well value, so that we will get some isothermal work. See, which is better, which is higher, isothermal work done or this power actual work done? Definitely actual work is only going to be more. Why? Because this is power absorbing machine, the input is going to be higher. Okay, so that's why the isothermal work done is lesser than actual work done. So that's why in power absorbing machines the isothermal work done is going to be in the numerator. Okay, in power producing machines isothermal work done is going to be in the denominator. Okay, that much difference is there. Okay, in between power producing and power absorbing. Okay, so that is the isothermal efficiency, nothing but isothermal work done by actual work done. What is isothermal work done? 41.77. And what is actual work done? 49.21. If you calculate that, you will get isothermal efficiency 84.88. And next, what he has asked you to find out free air delivery. Okay, now isothermal efficiency has been found out. Now free air delivery. Okay, free air delivered, we already know V is equal to PV is equal to MRT. From that, we can find out PV from the relation PV is equal to MRT, we can directly find out. We already know the value 10 power 5 into R value 0.287 and T1 300 and this into 10 power 3. While taking this free air delivered, better take this value in kilojoules. Okay, 0.287 into 10 power 3. Okay, and what is P1? 1 bar, and we need to convert that into Newton per meter square. So 1 into 10 power 5, 1 bar equal to 10 power 5 Newton per meter square. So 1 into 10 power 5, that is equal to it will give us the free air delivered or volume, that is 9.04 meter cube per minute. Okay, we can take this as effective swept volume also. Okay, that's what free air delivered actually means. Okay, effective swept volume only. Okay. Next, what he has asked to find out heat transferred in the intercooler. So to find out heat transferred in the intercooler, we must find out temperature at the end of compression. Okay, in the low pressure compressor. So this is the formula which we already know. Okay, by substituting the values here, you definitely know the delivery temperature for low pressure cylinder. So what is T2? T2 is equal to T1 into P2 by P1 whole power n minus 1 by n, and T1 we already know 300, P2 4, which we have already found out here. Okay, and P1 is 1 bar and n value we already know, which is 1.3 minus 1 by 1.3. By substituting everything in this, we will get T2 delivery temperature for low pressure cylinder, that is 413 Kelvin. Okay, and heat transferred in intercooler. Okay, heat transferred in intercooler also we need to know here. So we already know Q equal to ncp delta T from that formula which is derived from the thermodynamics. We need to know that. Okay, from thermodynamics, Q equal to nothing but Q is equal to mcp delta T. Okay, heat transferred Q. So we already know M here, Cp value for air. I already told you Cp value and Cv value, we should keep those in mind. Cp value is 1.005 and Cv value is 0.718, like that it's going to be. So Cp value 1.005 into T2 minus T5. Okay, so T2 minus T5, this T5 is nothing but mm, T1 here. Okay, see from the diagram, T5 is nothing but a T1. Okay, if it is going to be isothermal compression, this T5 is nothing but T1 here. Okay, this T1 and T5, these are going to follow isothermal process here. So then only it is going to get for the next stage, high pressure cylinder. Okay, if you see the actual diagram there, you will see one line here, isothermal process line here. Okay, it should be from here to here. Okay, PV is equal to constant. Okay, PV is equal to constant అయితే ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఇక్కడికి T1 is equal to T5 అవుతుంది. Okay, so keeping in mind that since T5 is equal to T1, here we can write T2 minus T5 here, because that is nothing but T2 minus T1 here. Or else you can write the formula here, itself the same T1, 1 here, 1, 2, 3. That means it depends on you. Okay, the numbering depends on you. Okay, depending on this only you need to change here. Formula may change depending upon the naming you have given. Okay, so whatever the diagram here I have given, or whether he has given, whatever the diagram we have discussed is going to be different numbering it is going to have. That's why it was changed, nothing else. Okay, ncp delta T is T2 minus T1. Okay, and the ncp here T2 minus T1, and m value we already know, and the cp value we need to know that from the previous things. And what is T2? T2 we already found out 413, and T5 is nothing but T1, which is already known 300. So this is 19.87 kilowatts. We will give the value heat transferred. That is 19.87 kilowatts is the heat transferred in intercooler. Next, what he asked to find, RPM he has given, N value has given, speed in RPM, and he has to find clearance ratio. Okay, swept volume and clearance volume. Okay, so volumetric efficiency for low low pressure stage. Okay, that means for low pressure cylinder, the volumetric efficiency has given as 0.04, right? So 1 plus K minus K into P2 by P1 whole power 1 by N. So he has given volumetric efficiency, how much? 0.04, right? So this K value he has given. The clearance ratio he has given, right? So 0.04. So instead of K, you replace that with 0.04. So 1 plus 0.04 minus 0.04 into P2 by P1. See here, what is P2? We already found out P2 here, okay, which is 4 bar, right? 4 into 1 by N means 1 by 1.3. Okay, so by calculating all these things, you will get the volumetric efficiency for low pressure cylinder as 92.38%. Similarly, for volumetric efficiency for high pressure cylinder, right? So here instead of taking 0.04, take 0.06. Why? Because here for high pressure cylinder, the volumetric, this clearance ratio is 0.06, right? So 1 plus 0.06 minus 0.06 into 4 power 1 by 1.3 will give us for high pressure cylinder the volumetric efficiency as 88.57%. Now calculate the swept volume and clearance volume for the low pressure cylinder as well as for the high pressure cylinder. First of all, we will calculate low pressure cylinder swept volume. So VA is equal to, we already know this formula, V1 minus V3 is equal to nothing but the swept volume within the low pressure cylinder. See what is swept volume for low pressure? This is the low pressure cylinder. Here what is swept volume? What is swept volume here? This one, right? This is the whole swept volume here. Okay, from here to here. Okay, this is the whole swept volume for the sorry, up to here only. Okay, since this is the swept volume for the high pressure cylinder. Okay, and this is the clearance volume for low pressure cylinder, and up to here the swept volume, this is the swept volume for high pressure, sorry, low pressure cylinder. Up to here, this from here to here, v1 to v3. Okay, v1 to v3 is the swept volume for low pressure cylinder, right? So that is what he has mentioned here. So for low pressure cylinder, swept volume Vs is V1 minus V3. From this diagram he has taken. Okay, don't confuse. In whenever we are discussing the theory part, we have taken different names here. So better draw the diagram and give your own numbering. Okay, that doesn't matter. Numbering doesn't matter, but while taking this, that only matter. Okay, whether it is V1 minus V3 or V1 minus V5 like that. Okay, up to here, that is the first low pressure cylinder, and this is the swept volume. Until here we are going to have swept volume for the low pressure cylinder, right? V1 minus V3. And how can we find out that? Free air delivered by speed into volumetric efficiency for low pressure cylinder, right? We have derived volumetric efficiency for low pressure cylinder, which is 92.38, and the speed also he has given, right? So what is free air delivered? 9.04, which we already found out here. Okay, free air delivered right here, 9.04. And what is speed here? Speed which is already given here, 440 rpm. Just substitute that. And volumetric efficiency for low pressure cylinder, we had found out, that is 92.38 here. Okay, by substituting these values and calculating, you will get swept volume for low pressure cylinder as 0.0222 meter cube. Okay, and he has also asked us to find out the clearance volume here for the low pressure cylinder. So the clearance volume is nothing but clearance ratio. We had a clearance ratio. What is clearance ratio? Clearance volume by swept volume. So we need to find out. We already know the swept volume here. So clearance volume by 1 minute. Okay, here clearance ratio is nothing but clearance volume by swept volume, right? We already know this form value, know this value. So it is easy for us to find out clearance volume, right? So this clearance volume is nothing but K into swept volume, right? అంతే కదా, this clearance volume is nothing but K into swept volume, and we already know the swept volume here. Okay, swept volume just now we found out, right? So this K value, which is already given in the formula, for low pressure cylinder, the K value is going to be 0.04, right? So 0.04 into this swept volume 0.0 triple two, okay, will give us swept volume here. So this is the clearance volume for low pressure cylinder, which is 0.00088 meter cube. Now calculate for high pressure cylinder using the same formulas. Okay, so for high pressure cylinder, it is what is that? Okay, this is the high pressure cylinder, and here what is swept volume? What is swept volume here? Here this is swept volume is V5 minus V7 here. Okay, this is the swept volume for high pressure cylinder, which is V5 minus V7 here. And what is clearance volume? V7, up to V7 is the clearance volume for the high pressure cylinder, and Vs swept volume is V5 minus V7 here. Okay, that is V5 minus V7. And here the free air delivery. Okay, whatever the V5, how can we find out the V5 minus V7? V free air delivery within the high pressure compressor, that by we need to take here stage pressure ratio also. Stage pressure ratio also we need to take. Why? Because here up to here only we need to take. Okay, until here we need not take. That means we are considering the pressure ratio here. Whatever the pressure developed here, that we are going to take. That means we are going to take intermediate pressure P2 here. Okay, so that intermediate pressure or pressure ratio or stage pressure ratio into speed. Okay, speed he has given that into volumetric efficiency for high pressure, okay, compressor. So that was 9.04 by, which is free air divided we have taken from here, and stage pressure ratio or intermediate pressure, that is nothing but 4 bar here, that 4 we have taken, and speed 440 rpm. And what is the volumetric efficiency for high pressure cylinder? For high pressure cylinder, the volumetric efficiency is 88.57, nothing but 0.008857. That's we need to take care. So if we calculate that value, you will get a 0.0058 here, 58 meter cube. That is the swept volume for high pressure cylinder. And at the same time, clearance volume for high pressure cylinder. What is clearance volume for high pressure cylinder? Nothing but up to V7. V7 is the high pressure cylinder clearance volume. Or else you can find out using the same formula which we used for the previous one. Okay, nothing but clearance ratio is nothing but clearance volume by swept volume. Since we know the value of swept volume from here, and K value already given in the problem, right? So what is the clearance volume now? Nothing but K into Vs, right? So we already know the swept volume here. Simply substitute that. Okay, this K value for high pressure cylinder already given in the problem as 0.06. Okay, the K value, and this swept volume directly taken from here, which is 0.0058, so that it will give us clearance volume for high pressure cylinder also. Okay, in that way we are going to find out. So what you got, the clearance value as 0.000348. So that's the value you got here. Okay, so in that way we are going to find out the clearance volume for high pressure cylinder.